Okay, so I go in and I put a light bulb into the saucer section, and I got the wires running out the back where it's going to go down the neck into the body. I got it clamped off. I got the filaments in, the fiber optic cables, and I'm waiting for that to dry. And I'm moving on to the nacelles, and you can see the instructions for the nacelles. We're going to have to drill holes in the bottom of this, and this is actually one piece. To give you an idea of how small it is, this is actually the piece that the nacelles rest on, and give you an example of how small it is. That's going to have to be drilled, and they actually call to run the wires into the grooves, drill the holes into it, and then put putty on it to smooth it out. So this is going to be a challenge, and this is one piece, and yeah, you can see it's not very big, not much meat on that at all. So moving on to the nacelles, and we'll see what that's like. I'll give you guys an update later. Okay, so I got the nacelle lights ready, and remember, if you're going to make this, that you're going to want to put tape or some kind of insulation around the wires so they do not touch. Remember, the set is not grounded, and if it does touch, it'll short it out. That being said, these are the lights that are going to go into the nacelles, and I have the nacelles drying right here. And the lights, let me show you. The lights are going to go right in like that. Again, you can see how small this is, but it's getting there. And the drill, I'm going to drill a couple of holes so that the wire can pass through that and go into the body. It calls for putty, modeler's putty, but depending how that is, I'm going to see if I can just go ahead and glue them and then use some paint to smooth it over. I don't know yet, I'll see, but it's starting to take form. Okay, so I have both lights in each nacelle now. The wires are coming out, and that was a tight fit. Again, it was difficult because it's so small. I'm waiting for that to dry, and then I'll drill in between the bottoms of the nacelles to run the wires through. The nacelle caps are clear, and I don't know if you can see this, but they're so small and the opening is like the size of a pinhead. So what I went ahead and did was, instead of putting paint in, I didn't want it to dull and hide the light. So what I did was I went ahead and I used a red magic marker and I did the inside of it. And hopefully it'll be enough to give it that, where you know it's red, but it's still going to be bright. So yeah, let's see if that works. Okay, so I went and what I did was I put the caps, the clear caps, on the beginning of the nacelles, and then the caps that go on the back for the engines. Like I said, this is very tiny. It requires a lot of patience, and hopefully it will pay off in the end. So now I just got to drill. This part is all set. I got to drill the holes for the wire and run it through, and then the nacelles will be complete and ready to attach to the main body or the secondary hull. Okay, well, I went ahead and I wired all the lights. There's 4 lights in there. One in the saucer section, one in the secondary hull, and one in each nacelle. And that was a chore. Oops, sorry about that. I was getting them all in there, and that was a real chore. The wires, and like I said, everything is so small. But it's in, it's together, and I put a bit of glue on the wires. And I'm going to see how it looks when it's painted, because it's so small. Let's see how that looks. So we'll just wait for that to dry and then we can paint it. Okay, I went ahead and gave the first coat of paint to the Enterprise, and it's pretty small, and the plastic, well, actually the first coat will be like primer, and it should look better on the second coat. The Klingon model ships looked a lot better after the second coat, so we'll see what she looks like. Okay, so I went ahead and I trimmed off the fiber optics that were hanging out, and I gave it a final coat of paint, and I put a little bit of the detail paint on, and this gave me a harder time than the Klingon ships because it's so small. Yeah, it's you guys, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that could have done a much better job, but considering how small it is and time consuming, I think I'm pleased with the way it came out. So I'm going to go ahead and put the stickers on, and then it'll be ready to mount to the backboard. Well, I've gone ahead and I put the decals on and basically finished the USS Enterprise, and it's ready to be mounted onto the backboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish the fiber optics on the backboard, and I'll put these on to fit and show you guys what it looks like.